Hi, third graders. I hope you're having a wonderful day so far today. Today we are going to read the informational text that goes along with our story of the week, which is Two Bear Cubs. So by now you should have either listened to that story being read to you or have read it by yourself at this point in the week. Today we're going to read an informational text, which means it's a factual, real topic. Okay, so it's something that's real. And it's called Whose Land Is It? So this to me looks like something, and some people get it every day, delivered to their house. What does this look like we're reading today? Does it look like a newspaper maybe? Yes, I would agree. If you think it looks like a newspaper, then that would be correct. It's called Today's News, and this is dated Monday, September 5th, 2014, so quite a long time ago. So it's called Whose Land Is It by Ellen Gold. All right, so this is the title, and we can go back to our text features that we talked about last week. So this would be our title, and then we have our heading right here. So all of those things go together every single week. Even if we're not talking about text features this week necessarily, you can still use them in your reading. So people and wild animals. By the way, I would love if you could follow along in your Journeys book, or you could just also look on the screen as well, since it's right here for you. People and animals need places to live. Animals have lived in the wilderness for thousands of years. They live in ancient forests, oceans, and other habitats. Yet wild animals also live in people's yards. They live in cities too. So we can look at this picture. And if you're wondering what this picture is of, you can always look at the caption right here. Right underneath the picture, we call that a caption, and that's a text feature. It says, "Coyotes are no strangers to cities. One even walked into a restaurant in Chicago. Within moments, a panicking worker had climbed onto the counter." So I don't know about you, but I would definitely panic if a coyote walked into a restaurant when I was there. Habitat loss. Why are wild animals moving closer to people? They are losing their habitats. Then they must find new places to live. Fires destroy many animals' homes. Some years are especially fiery. In 2006, fires burned nearly 10 million acres of wild land in the United States. Oh, that's really sad. You think about it, 10 million acres is so much land, and all of that land, if it's all burned down and the trees are burned down and the grasses and the other animals, then certain animals don't have a place to live anymore. People destroy habitats too. People build homes, stores, and roads where animals live. In Florida, many homes are near swamps and waterways. There are places where alligators live, or these are places where alligators live. So your house, wherever you're at right now, it used to be land. It used to be just land. It had probably trees on it. It could have been a field. So eventually, at some point, your house was built, or your apartment, or I'm in our classroom, so our school was built, and then that habitat was lost for the animals who used to live here. So that's happening more and more because we have more and more people in our world. And there's nothing wrong with building homes or stores, but we do have to try to be careful where we build because we don't want to destroy habitats for these wild animals. If we look at this alligator picture, we can look at the caption right here, and it will tell us what it's about. It says, "Running into an expected alligator can be horrifying. People may have to take emergency steps, like having a trapper catch the animal." That would be scary. Can you imagine living somewhere where an alligator could just go straight into your pool? That would be kind of interesting, but also very horrifying at the same time. Let's turn the page. Changing ways. Alligators have been around since prehistoric times. Wow, that's a really long time. They mostly fear people, yet that may be changing. Why is this? The reason is far from mysterious. Some people feed alligators. Then those alligators stop fearing people. They may think that all people will feed them. So it's kind of like a dog. If you have ever, maybe you are somebody who's a little bit afraid of new dogs, and if you give that dog a treat, it's probably going to really end up liking you, and you won't be scared of it anymore because it really likes you. So Same thing with alligators, is that these alligators are not really afraid of people anymore in certain parts of the country because people feed them. And so they think that everyone will feed them. Other animals link people to food too. Scientific experts know a lot about black bears. Country bears look for food during the day. City bears eat at night. They know that people put out garbage, so city bears find food in dumpsters and trash cans. That reminds me of sometimes animals will get into my garbage at my house, and that's why it's really important to keep it closed and tight and shut, so that way animals like raccoons don't get into your garbage. It sounds like the same thing is happening in cities with bears. How can people keep bears away? People need to change their habitats. They should use bear-proof trash cans. They should fasten the cans immediately after use. If bears can't get food, they won't come back. So bears are going into cities because they know that people leave their trash cans out and there's leftover foods in there. So what it's saying is that we have to use bear-proof trash cans if you live in a place with bears. So we don't have to worry about that here in Illinois. But actually, kind of an interesting story is that 2 years ago, I went to Yellowstone National Park. It's a really beautiful national park, and it is in Wyoming. So that is on the west coast of the United States, and there's lots of bears there. And I was camping with my family, and we stayed there for a week. And we camped out in a tent, and all of the trash that we threw away, so all of the leftover food, I try not to throw away a lot of leftover food because I don't want to waste it, but things like banana peels or just certain things that you can't really eat, we would throw away, or like soda cans or water bottles, those kinds of things. We had to put them in a bear-proof trash can. So there really is that kind of a thing, and it locks. So you have to twist the top open and then slide it, and then you put all of your trash in there, and then you close it and you twist it again, so that way the bear cannot get into it. It's also very, very thick metal, so the bears can't really smell it too well. Now they can still smell it, but you have to try to be careful to make sure it's in there because it's kind of like smell proof. And so that just reminded me of this paragraph. And maybe you have a kind of a story of something that happened with you and a wild animal before. And I would love to hear about that next time you're in school. So now this caption, this is a picture of a black bear. It's a photograph, right? It's a real photograph. The caption says, "This black bear has wandered into someone's backyard garden, right in the heart of a big city. Have wild animals ever visited your home?" So I'm sure lots of you have stories about maybe a wild animal that has been in your yard. Maybe if you live on a farm or a big field, I'm sure you have some stories. I know that I've had a couple experiences with a fox that lives around my house. So anyways, I hope that you enjoyed this newspaper article, this nonfiction text. And what you're going to do now is go over to Seesaw, and you're going to compare and contrast this article with two bear cubs. So you're going to compare and contrast, which means you're going to look at things that are the same and things that are different about this article, and then our story of the week, which was two bear cubs. Now, we already know that two bear cubs is fiction, and this article was nonfiction, so that could be a difference. So you have to think of two differences and two things that are the same. So that's over on Seesaw. And if you need to, you can use your textbook to help you. You could even also use this video to help you as well. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you all next time. Bye.